Now, the construction and infrastructure industry plays a critical role in the development of any economy. But in India's case in particular, it is perhaps a mirror reflection of our country's phenomenal growth story. Which is not to say that the industry hasn't faced its fair share of challenges, be it price volatility, be it a sheer talent shortage, or technology breakthroughs that threaten to make even the most agile of players obsolete. So the question then becomes, in the face of these obstacles, what does it take to build a nation? And tonight's forum is aimed at bringing together all relevant stakeholders in the construction and infrastructure ecosystem, from policymakers to industry movers and shakers such as yourselves, on a single platform in an attempt to tackle this very question. With that, to help set the tone this evening, I ask that you please join me in welcoming on this stage the President of Sales and Marketing with MYK LATICRETE, Mr. Amar Palta.
Today, in terms of economy, in terms of growth, we are number 3 after China and United States. So they say by 2024, we are going to be ahead of United States of America. So we're going to be number 2 after China in just 5 years. And if that be the case, construction and infrastructure is going to play a very, very pivotal role in terms of taking the economy to the number 2 in the world.
Now, between the country's smart cities mission, between Invest India, between Housing for All, the government is clearly embracing all of these initiatives aimed at revitalizing our country's construction sector. India has always been legendary for leapfrogging technologies, and the international investor base in the infrastructure sector continues to show significant interest in investing in our country. But is all of this enough to re-stimulate our country's construction and infrastructure space? Well, it's a complex question that needs to be addressed from a 360-degree perspective. And fortunately, we're joined by a panel of subject matter experts this evening to do just that.
Technology plays a very important role today in the infrastructure sector, in the construction sector. You know, you look at robotics, you look at drones, you look at building information modeling, the BIM. How do you think, this plays an important role in the infrastructure industry? What impact does it actually have?
Technology has been a hot topic in construction industry, especially for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Robotics, I think we are way advanced. I mean, I don't think for the next 2, 3 years I can see that implied in construction, especially in India. Globally, there are things happening on 3D printing and stuff like that, but they are not that effective as such. BIM, it's an advanced tool. I think 20% of the buildings right now are using that as a model, but there are various levels in this, so that you can design a building in BIM and operate it. So there are 5 or 6 levels. But moving forward, I think things like BIM, drone technologies, we are using drone extensively for project monitoring. For large sites, we do a weekly report kind of a thing. And there are other technologies as well. So even at a micro level, when you do sort of management of a project, there are so many technologies, so many platforms that helps you to manage a project efficiently. In terms of construction, both in terms of civil and interiors, there are so many technologies getting invented day in, day out. But the problem that I'm seeing right now is the implementation. It's how effectively you install and operate those properties. Yes, we try to get a lot of good best practices from the West. We install it, but at times maintenance becomes a challenge. So I think the upskilling of labor and installation is still a challenge that we face.
So that becomes actually one of the major challenges that the infrastructure sector is
yeah, I mean, skill is, Well, skilled labor and skilled manforce is a different, there's a lot to be discussed in that. We are still far away from getting technical capabilities, for our, see, 80% of the people who are into construction are laborers. There is no skill training per se for laborers. There is no certification which says you are a trained carpenter, you are a trained electrician or XYZ. Everybody learns from the trade. So, it'll take, we are getting there. There is a new, with the skill development ministry, the Pradhan Mantri Vikas Yojana. That's a very good start. They are setting up centers in, I think, every state, every city, training the laborers how to effectively, do the construction. Because if the laborers are skilled, the time of construction will reduce, which will effectively, will be better for the economy.
Mr. Shukla, what's your take on that? Since you're a government voice, and as Vishal rightly said, Skill India, the entire ministry is focusing on the centers that are created, different sectors, they are creating skilled laborers, sir. What do you see, sir, where, let's say if you compare us to China or you compare us to other developed nations, we somewhere lag behind, काफ़ी पीछे रह जाते हैं क्योंकि उनका जो कंस्ट्रक्शन का स्तर है या जो स्पीड है वो हमसे कहीं ज़्यादा है. अगर स्किल्ड लेबरर्स की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाती है, you think we'll be able to catch up face with it?
Definitely it is possible. Indian laborers as well as engineers, all technocrats are far better than other countries. And I can say the zeal which our Indian people have for working is far superior than others.
That's only the right government voice, sir.
And no, it is not only the government voice. I can say, because I can say with authority, now you must be listening more about the PPP mode of the airports taking up in India. But let me clarify to you that first private airport in India is also constructed by Airports Authority of India only. And it was run by also Airports Authority of India because the cost of development of that airport was only 200 crores, whereas the NRIs who have collected the fund was only 250 crores. And against that, Airports Authority of India has constructed that airport at the cost of 200 crores. And rest 50 crores was also given to Airports Authority for running the airport for 4-5 years. And within 5th year, that airport was brought to the profit. And that is the first airport, Cochin Airport, which was developed by Airports Authority of India. So I can say that developing the airport is the mastery for the Airports Authority of India because we have the technical expertise in that. We have the ATC persons who are well equipped with their knowledge, then CNS persons who are also maintaining the communication facilities all across the Indian borders. Then we have got the expert team of engineers who are expert in the construction side. So combined together, it's a joint responsibility of all the three experts that a particular airport is running properly with safety. That is the thing.
सर, एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि सरकार ने मोदी सरकार ने पिछले टर्म में उड़ान स्कीम की शुरुआत की थी. हवाई चप्पल से हवाई यात्रा के सफ़र की बात की थी. एंड वी हैव आल्सो सीन दैट देयर आर लॉट ऑफ न्यू एयरपोर्ट्स दैट हैव कम इनटू द कंट्री. They are operational as well. You have a lot of passengers traveling from those airports using air flights. Sir, but there is still a lot of empty airports. The existing space, you think, which is available, the lot of airstrips that are available, you think that can be used, in, let's say, improving the industry, the construction industry?
Actually, Airports Authority is also taking up, as you are mentioning, that उड़ान स्कीम, हवाई चप्पल से हवाई सफ़र तक, तो उसके अंतर्गत हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारे ऐसे एयरपोर्ट हैं जहाँ पे कि अभी हमारे यहाँ बहुत जगह लैंड नहीं अवेलेबल है, तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज़ ट्राइंग टू प्रोवाइड द लैंड टू एयरपोर्ट अथॉरिटी, ताकि वहाँ पे हम रनवे स्ट्रिप बेसिकली जो मिनिमम लेंथ रिक्वायर्ड है सेफ्टी के हिसाब से वो हम डेवलप करें। देन देयर आर सेफ्टी कंसर्न्स, क्योंकि अगर मान लीजिए हम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करने के लिए वहाँ सेफ्टी के लिए जो एक्सपेंडिचर करते हैं वो अगर मान लीजिए नॉन वाइबल रहे तो नेचुरली जो कॉस्ट है वो हम नॉर्मल पैसेंजर्स को पास ऑन नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट एड भी देती है, बट अगेन वो एड भी इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होती कि जिससे कि हम जो सेफ्टी के जो मेजर्स हैं, जो जैसे हम बड़े बड़े एयरपोर्ट्स में नॉर्मली अप्लाई करते हैं कि भाई सेफ्टी के लिए ये चीज़ें हमें मिनिमम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करके रखना पड़ता है, तो वो चीज़ों में कुछ रिलैक्सेशन डीजीसीए से भी, कुछ बीसीएस से भी वो लेकर के देन वी आर ट्राइंग टू डेवलप एज बेस्ट एज पॉसिबल। और दूसरा मैं आपको बताऊं, नॉट ओनली पैसेंजर्स, कैलामिटी के कंडीशंस में भी दीज एयरपोर्ट्स आर फाइंडिंग रादर द ओनली मीन्स टू सपोर्ट पब्लिक। जो अभी आपको लेटेस्ट आपने देखा होगा कोल्हापुर महाराष्ट्र में, जो लैंड एंड बाय रेल ऑल्सो इट वाज कट एंड देयर वाज नो मीन्स अदर देन एयरपोर्ट, तो जहाँ हार्डली 1 या 2 फ्लाइट थी दिन में, वहाँ एक दिन में 160 ऑपरेशंस उस एयरपोर्ट पे हुए हैं पब्लिक को बचाने के लिए, जो कि एयरफोर्स ने किए हैं मोस्टली, एंड some of the airlines also operated during that period. So this was only possible क्योंकि हमने वहाँ उड़ान स्कीम में ऑलरेडी वर्क टेकअप किया हुआ है, दो दैट वर्क इज स्टिल ऑन, बट उसके वजह से हमारा जो एयरपोर्ट है वो फंक्शनल है और बेटर कंडीशन में है देन अदर नॉर्मल कंडीशन।
Sir, I'll come back to you and we will talk about the development in that region also. But before that, Murali, I'll come to you. How Vishal spoke about maintenance, you know, the new technology that we're using. You need a lot of maintenance in that. But if I talk about, tile and stone installation, what improvements or, let's say, what opportunities do you see in the maintenance industry in construction?
I think in the tile and stone industry, I mean, there's a huge change the last 20 years. I mean, since we started, I think most of the tiles, was negligible tiles or stones installed with an adhesive, a tile adhesive or a tile grout. But today there's a substantial increase. And choosing the right product, as you rightly, if you choose the right product for installation, obviously your failures come down. And that's where your maintenance kicks off. In India, I think as Vishal pointed out, also, you need to select a product based on maintenance. What product runs last? It's not the cheapest product, doesn't tend to be the best product in certain cases. So for us, I think, the potential is huge. Even today, 90% of the tile or stone industry use the traditional methods. So today, tiles are changing, the substrates are changing. So we were in the forefront to get this technology into the market. It's been widely accepted now, but a long way to go. And to touch upon the skill development, as you mentioned, I think that's one of the key. I think I fully agree with Vishal that our construction force is not trained enough. We don't have certifications. People tend to come on the site and learn on the job site. And that is something, if we could change, will improve the quality of a building to a large degree.
Okay, Vishal, next we're going to touch upon FDI and the PPP model. If I look at one of the numbers, I know you maybe don't want to react on that, but India has a requirement investment of around $750 billion in infrastructure by 2022. How do you think easier availability of FDI or let's say PPP models in the country will impact this sector?
Why are we talking about FDIs is my question. Because everybody is willing to invest in India because India is the fastest growing economy in Southeast Asia and in the world, not the highest, but somewhere in the top 5. It's a growing economy, right? So everybody wants to invest in India. Now, as per the investment, yes, as you said, they are FDIs, which has its own government challenges, government issues. You can expect any money you want. A government can say we want X amount, X trillion, X million. But unless there is an ease in which companies can work in India, those FDIs will still remain as a number. There has to be ease in coming in doing business in India, and it is improving. It is fantastically improving. There are large funds which are investing in India right now. We are getting there, and it's just a matter of time. Probably a couple of years. Once we understand the model in the fullest, once we understand the basic principles of taxation and stuff like that, we'll be there. Just a matter of couple of years. PPP, on the other hand, is a different model. So that will all depend upon the structuring in which you want the public investment, private investment in developing a public infrastructure or real estate. It will all depend upon the structuring. As I was talking earlier, Delhi-Noida Expressway was the neatest example of a PPP model which happened 18 years ago. And after that, we are seeing a lot of PPP happening in Maharashtra, Gujarat, primarily on the infrastructure side, roads, bridges and stuff like that. Slowly and steadily, it will go into the hardcore public building real estate like hospitals, education, but time will come. It's just a matter of time. The market has to be matured enough.
Mr. Shukla, we have seen ease of doing business by the government, sir. And, there's a lot of improvement in the construction sector as well. But even today, to build a building, let's say, or to build an industry, there are a lot of problems that come in the way. Land acquisition की बात हो, environmental norms की बात हो, ये सब परेशानियाँ अभी भी आती हैं, sir. You think if there is an improvement in this, more FDI will come to India and the sector will benefit?
Yeah, I agree with you because one cannot rather easily allow to destroy the environment. So there are certainly certain norms are there. Even Government of India itself is following the norms. Whatever is required to be done for the projects taken up by the various PSUs under Government of India. So those are there. But certainly if we are taking the conscious steps in time, then it is possible to take up and gear up with the challenges, I feel.
Murali, I'll come to you now. You think this sector needs a stimulus package for the growth?
I think definitely the sector is the most important employment generator in India. So I think no government, if it wants to be a $5 trillion economy in the next 2024 as our Honorable Prime Minister wants, I think construction sector is very, very important. I think it employs a lot of people. It gives a big boost to the economy in terms of steel, cement, all the consumption. So I think the government has to look at it. What kind of stimulus? I wouldn't be able to comment on that, but definitely I think this has to be looked up and revitalized for the economy to grow.
It was lovely speaking to all of you gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, to shed more light on this subject and the complexities of leveraging technology in order to meet and beat customer expectations, next we bring you a very special guest. I ask that you please join me in welcoming to the dais the National Manager of Technical Services with MYK LATICRETE, Radha Kant Nandula.
First and foremost, if you see, there are a lot of challenges as far as this industry is concerned. One, the cement technology has changed. The substrates have become, they have evolved. Like, for example, we don't have this old-time concrete. We have Mavon technology concrete today.
And then there are many other substrates, challenging substrates, where the architects would like to install tiles and stones. Then the tiles themselves have changed. They have become larger and larger, and they have become fatter and then subsequently thinner. Today you have a very large format tiles which are thin and are very, very challenging to install on either floor or wall if you're using a cement slurry. Now, because of all these challenges, the cement slurry gives a lot of issues. One is the hollow sounds under the tiles and subsequently leading to leakage of tiles and then to cracking of tiles and the subsequent failures. We had been in the industry for the last 19-20 years, and our key was to innovate the products which suit the present conditions of the country with all the challenges of lack of knowledge on the materials, lack of skilled people in the country, and also the resistance that these people actually show to adopt to the new technologies. So innovation had been the key for us, and we've given many, many new products for this country. And apart from that, it is also important to note, when we started off, it was a technology that we have taken from United States, but today, after 19 years of working, we are giving back the technology to the Western countries. We have come up with these new products, innovative products, where we are able to excite them, even the Westerners, to adopt to our new technologies from India.
So with that, MYK LATICRETE presents Emerging Trends in the Construction and Infrastructure Industry, partnered by Times Now, comes to a close. But I'd especially like to thank you for being an incredibly high energy, well-informed and enthusiastic audience.